It's time to take a TO with coaches Turner and O'Neill. Produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy.
It's time to take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Your new favorite podcast features conversation from the world of high school, college, and pro sports, along with other riveting content. Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast and on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, or visit www.turnerando'neill.com. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, and more than 15 podcast platforms. We also invite you into the studio each week via YouTube. Subscribe and watch each episode on our YouTube channel at Turner O'Neill Podcast. Thanks to our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group, LLC, and Marquise Evans with Keller Williams Capital Properties. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development, LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media and Gene the Barber with Max Life Barber and Salon. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by me, DJ Krissy. Now we welcome you to today's episode as we take a TO with coaches Steve Turner and Casey O'Neill. Here's your host, Kurtis Cross.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 14 of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. I am Kurtis Cross, your host. I'm joined as always by Coach Steve Turner, Coach Casey O'Neill. Our esteemed engineer is DJ Krissy, the master of the ticker. We thank you for listening and watching. You know what? We call ourselves Take a TO, but we're in the top 5% globally of listeners on Listen Notes, the podcast platform. Now, before we pat ourselves on the back, I just thought of something interesting. If Listen Notes has like 10 listeners globally, we didn't do much there, but I'm going to assume that they have a good number of listeners. So, gentlemen, this podcast that you host, along with DJ Krissy and myself, our listen share score is of 33. I don't know what that means, but our global rank with Listen Notes as of this morning is in the top 5%. So, pat yourselves on the back. You guys did it. Hopefully we're putting together some good content. And our premier partner for Season 3 is Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Ray is a friend of the program. He is the only mortgage lender we endorse right here at Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Ray Cruz is mortgage intelligently. We'd like to thank our partners, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, and of course, Marquise Evans with Keller Williams Capital Properties. If you'd like to become a friend, a sponsor, a donor, or a partner, just look in the notes of all Season 3 episodes. Before we get to today's episode, gentlemen, how was the week? Coach Turner, you said you got some roof work going on this week. You got some things going on, anticipating basketball. I know you're excited. Talk to me about your week, and why are you not on the roof?
I'm a coach and a counselor, not a roofer. So that's why I'm not on the roof. Look, hopefully get this roof thing taken care of. So got some folks up on the roof checking out our shingles and all that stuff. But weekend was good. Always too short, but it was good. Good time. Catching some good sports. Guys in the gym prepping for November 8th. It's here. It's here. So very, very excited about that. And just excited to be back here with you guys. So let's have a great show.
All right, Coach O'Neill, you spent a time or two on some roofs. Is that correct?
I did. Growing up, the son of a builder, framed a few houses as a young buckaroo and carried some plywood and put those trussles down and never did the actual shingles, but the actual framing. And it gets a little easier the older you get or the more confident. But man, on a cold winter morning or a hot summer morning, it's just not. It's not where you want to be. I get it, Kurtis. The one level, boom, got the gutters covered. You're good to go.
I'm good.
But my week, a lot of work with the academy, a theme this week of process over outcome, kind of trying to get that into the heads of the boys we're working with. I've also, Sammy, our young puppy's going through dog training. We are getting ready for Halloween in this house because we got the little ones, as I'm sure all of our listeners are getting ready for those Halloween costumes. I started a show that I heard everybody talk about. It's called Ted Lasso. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It won all the Emmys or Grammys, whatever award that is. Kind of like it. Got 3 episodes in, so I recommend it. I'm going to finish that series. But last but not least, before we dive into this episode, this Friday, Mama O'Neill turns the big 8-0. So happy birthday.
Hot diggity dog.
Happy birthday to Mama O'Neill. Susan, we love you. And when this episode is released, your birthday will be the day after. But love you, Mom. We're going to spend some time with her this weekend.
So why don't we give her a happy 79 years and 364 days when this episode drops, and then give her the big 8-0. You know what?
Yes.
That is something. You know, spending time with family is important. Recognizing the matriarch of your family is important. And I got a video of her saying, I'm going to take a TO. So she's down with the podcast. My only question for you, those houses you framed, are they still standing, Casey?
They are. Not only are they still standing, but they're just looking smooth. They look good. That no upgrade on that. Hey, I might not be I can be a decent co-host of a podcast and coach at times, but I'm not bad at hammering a nail, man. You
damn good framer.
Yeah, a little bit. I can drive that nail into the wood, man. Don't you worry.
All right, my man. So look,
measurements though. Ooh, don't trust me with the measurements.
All right, a protractor or something like that. That's not your thing. A miter box.
Lay them out, and I'll drive that hammer into the nail. It's about as far as I go.
All right. Now, look, we have a young lady here in the studio. She's taking it easy on us on the ticker right now. She's easing into it because we know her ticker game is real. DJ Krissy, the master, the mistress, the I don't know, the leader of the ticker. Talk to us, young lady. How was the week?
The week was good. You know, as with every other week in October, it's been pretty busy. Had a crazy outdoor homecoming this past weekend where they had 2 big tents. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Just huge tents with like LED lighting all over the place. And then they had like lights in the ceiling. Like it was crazy.
Krissy, she's being modest. Krissy, how many folks were at the homecoming you did this weekend? She takes the cake. Look, I've done homecomings where they're like 1,300 kids, 1,000 kids. How many kids were at your homecoming at, what was it, Colgan? You were at Colgan, Charles Colgan High School in Loudoun County. How many kids were there?
2,000 kids.
I mean, she rocked the spot with 2,000 youngins this past weekend, her and DJ Chase. Yeah. So she's doing some things.
So that was a little crazy.
All right.
You know, excited for this weekend, you know, Halloween.
Yeah, you are. That's her thing.
Orange. Excited.
All right.
I'm going to do a little theme park this weekend. So I'm excited for that.
She does the haunted houses thing. That's Krissy. She'll do Field of Screams, haunted houses, all that jazz.
No, thank you.
Yep, no, thank you.
So good.
I might wet my britches, Krissy. If I go through there and someone jumps out at me, oh, Lord, I'm going to soil my pants.
See, they hate me because I think they're hilarious. So
now that's a headline.
Get angry at me.
Uh-oh. Don't give her any ammunition. Please.
I didn't give it to her. You just gave it to us.
All right, dunk it on Bamas.
Done soiled his britches.
Anything else from you?
That is it for me.
All right. So, look, my week was great. Stay away from that ticker, Krissy. The highlights included fall is here, and our man Adam is picking up some new customers for fall leaf cleanup. Why are you reaching for the keyboard, Krissy? Why are you reaching for the ticker keyboard? Me and the kids won our first week of fantasy basketball, so we are moving right along. But I'm going to need more than 14 and 6 from Joel Embiid, though. That's what he got me last night. Conversely, Mr. Anthony Davis, back to the basket, showed up big last night with 35 and 17. We do have a date with a certain Mr. McCarthy this evening, Coach Turner, so I'll let you know how that turns out. We are ready for season 3, episode 14. DJ Krissy, you ready yet? It's time for commercial break. Krissy, get your hands off the ticker. We are ready for season 3, episode 14, right. And we'll be back with this week's headline. Kurt Cross here, producer of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. For more than 20 years, I have seen Gene the Barber for my haircuts. I am proud to say that Gene the Barber is now the owner of a new shop, his own shop, Max Life Barber and Salon. Max Life is family friendly with barbers and stylists for men, women, and children. Located at 68 59 New Hampshire Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, Max Life Barber and Salon is now the new home of Gene the Barber. Of course, you'll get Gene's signature service, but now Gene has several barbers to choose from. Schedule an appointment today by calling 240-687-7253 and tell Gene that the Take It To Yo team sent you.
Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill can be found on more than 15 podcast platforms. Listen to us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeart Radio, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Tune in on your preferred podcast platform. Be sure to listen, subscribe, and spread the word. Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill records weekly with episode drops each Thursday at 11 a.m.
One Headline is brought to you by
Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. With a stellar reputation as an outstanding mortgage lender, Ray Cruz serves the lending needs of real estate professionals, builders, and individual homebuyers in Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Texas, California, Florida, Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Ray believes that integrity is the cornerstone of his business, and helping you achieve your home financing goals is his business. Located in the heart of Bethesda, Maryland, contact Ray P. Cruz today to get started. Your home mortgage or refinance options await. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill. Welcome back to Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill. Today's episode is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Coaches, here's our headline. We've seen professional sports successfully leverage their sports against the spread of COVID. With fans in the stands, full capacities, are college and high school sports ready to do the same? I mean, between vaccination requirements, fans in the stands, indoor versus outdoor sports, where do we think we are? Of course, Casey's dunking on Bama. Steve has a new calling, and I'm wetting my britches. Thank you, Krissy, for the ticker. Gentlemen, where are we? Coach Turner, I know you have been anticipating.
Oh, no, that's wrong. I'm dunking on Bama's. Casey got the new calling.
Okay. Where are we?
Great.
In 2 weeks or less, Coach, you are planning on being on the sidelines full-time with your team. What does it look like for fans coming to your games, and what are the mitigations and things that are put in place for your upcoming season?
Hasn't all been put out there yet, to be honest.
Okay.
But I'm hearing that definitely teams will have to be vaccinated. Like,
okay,
if you're going to be a player or any member of that party coming to the game, whether that be a videographer, manager, trainer, of course they should be, but those people will have to be on a report that is signed off by your administration, so that everyone that is coming in has been vaccinated. If you don't, you won't be admitted into certain places.
So now what does that look like? Fans will have to have a vax card, or?
I don't know about the fans. I'm speaking just to the general people who are playing games and the coaches.
The staffing.
They haven't said anything about fans yet. But for the kids and the coaches and staffing members who will be coming into Gonzaga from another school, they will have to be on a roster that is signed off by their administration.
All right. Now, I assume you've either chaperoned or attended some outdoor sports. What is that looking like?
For the most part, I mean, like, you're coming to our football games, the fans are masked up. And you know, kids playing are not, but of course on the sidelines, they're able to be unmasked, and that's due to the outdoor protocols. But it's just going to be interesting to see, because I think Maryland is lifting the mask mandate again in the next day or two.
Montgomery County or Maryland as a whole?
Maryland as a state.
Okay.
So we'll be interested to see how that plays into sport as well. I mean, I remember we did it, you know, Maryland did it before, and you were able to go into different restaurants and different, you know, clubs and places like that without unmasked. And then we went back to it. So be interesting to see how they are going to apply that to schools and activities.
And again, we have another piece that may complicate it because the WCAC spans several counties and, Maryland, Virginia, and then DC, with 3 different jurisdictions having, of course, different mandates.
You have people now trying to convince other schools to give up their home games.
Okay. All right.
Well, hey, come play us here. We don't have to have that.
Right. Okay. I get it.
I'm not giving up my home game. So Virginia better figure it out.
Coach O'Neill, you were in a different arena. You were in a different column, shall we say, with sports. You're not going to be bound, or you're no longer bound by what the school systems or the conference does. What's happening on your side?
Well, I'm just going to allude back to what Steve said because, lived it for a long, long time and through the whole process of that, and exactly what you guys just said, the different jurisdictions. I mean, Steve and I both went through it. Working at a high school in Washington, D.C. was very, very hardcore, is very strict. And then you had sort of more lenient policies and operations from other schools. And COVID as a whole, when you talk about colleges and high schools, I think the high schools for the most part are doing a little bit better of a job of the policies. You get to college, man, it's the Wild West. I mean, we were down south going to visit Cole. You watch all these games and they're coming in there, and there's really not as much policy with that. I think there is with the staff, there's with the players and the people that are, participating on the field. But in terms of getting into the gymnasium, I would imagine Steve's going to have a tougher time. St. John's, Carroll, and the DC schools like Sidwell are going to have a tough time getting fans in there, as opposed to going out to, PG County or, out to Loudoun where PVI is. I mean, I honestly think it's not fair. I mean, from day one, and now that I'm not in this business of as an AD, I think the ADs need to stick together. And if one school can't do it, then they all can't do it. To me, it drove me crazy last year watching other schools be able to do things and other kids couldn't, and they look around. Stop me if you think I'm wrong, Steve. But,
oh no, I'm gonna go a step further. I mean, there's stuff going on in our conference that people are literally taking advantage of COVID. They're practicing. Yeah. They're doing things that we're not allowed to do because nobody's out there checking on them.
Right.
And they can whine and say this isn't true, but talk to the kid, talk to your own players, because they're the ones who are telling on you. And because of it, I think we have to figure out how to make the rule apply to everyone, so that it keeps it simple. It keeps people on the up and up.
Sure.
And allows it to be a fair playing ground for everybody involved. Agreed.
And keep people safe, right? At the end of the day,
more importantly, keep people safe, because you look at you go to college, like you said, Coach, you look at every weekend, you watch these college games, and there's thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people with no mask on, which tells me it's more about money than it is about life. And that I don't know any other way to describe it.
Well, there we have it. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your one headline. O'Neill Development is a custom builder in Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and the Eastern Shore. Recognized nationally as a premier builder, O'Neill Development has received awards for historic restoration and urban infill work. Committed to best practices in green building, O'Neill Development also provides support in budgeting, architect selection, and design development during the critical stages of planning. O'Neill Development, building, remodeling, and development since 1975. Find us at www.o'neilldev.com or call 301-840-9310.
Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neill, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerando'neill.com.
Winsight Media delivers connections and intelligence to four of the fastest growing verticals: convenience retailing, grocery businesses, restaurants, and non-commercial food service through broad and cutting-edge platforms. No company is better positioned to meet the food industry's needs than Winsight. Connect with us at www.winsightmedia.com.
The Starting Five is brought to you by...
From Washington, D.C. to Ocean City, Woodbridge to Columbia, Richmond to Virginia Beach, The hottest DJs are right here. The Mid-Atlantic Professional DJ Association.
Dynamic DJ Entertainment, the most experienced professional DJ service in the DMV. For 35 years, our DJ talent has been the energy behind more than 14,000 events. If you're planning your wedding, school dance, corporate event, Sweet 16, or any event, our talented team has the right mix of music and MC skills to bring the energy and turn any event into an epic event. In 35 years, our DJs have performed in front of more than 2 million guests in 26 states. Our services include dynamic DJ talent, karaoke, giant games, atmospheric effects, movie nights, and more. Contact us today and let's make your next event an epic event. Dynamic DJ Entertainment. Visit thepartybeginsnow.com or call 301-942-4500 to get the party started.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. The starting five. Welcome back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. The starting five is brought to you by Dynamic DJ Entertainment. I am your host, Kurtis Cross, and I'm with coaches Steve Turner and Casey O'Neill. Our engineer for this and every episode is DJ Krissy. We are up to our starting five. 5 questions I'll ask of each coach. They have 30 seconds each to answer these questions. They can only defer one question, and if they go over their 30 seconds, DJ Krissy, what will happen? Okay, so remember when they're at home, we're supposed to do the other one. Like Krissy, Steve, she's just not, the ticker is taking up too much of her time. That's what it is. She can't focus.
I like the ticker action though, so I'm okay.
Yeah. You're okay. You give up one for the other, right?
I give up one for the other.
Krissy, what you got? What you got?
I mean, she can walk and chew gum at the same time, but then to dunk on Daniel,
it's Halloween. She's coming up with some new stuff.
No, we don't want that one.
No, man. I don't know about that one. Mike might be creeping. I don't know about that one.
I'm going to leave Krissy alone. You do what you do, Krissy.
That's when Kurtis soils his drawers. And then,
hold up, Krissy, speaking of Halloween, when are you going to see? Are you going to go see Mike Myers?
I absolutely want to see it. Yeah, it's not supposed to be scary, but yes, I want to see it.
How can it not be scary? It's Mike Myers.
There you go. All right, we've got a starting five. You know what? Next week, I guess we'll do the Halloween edition. We'll throw some Halloween stuff in there. Right now, we're just going to keep it 100. Gentlemen, we'll start with you, Coach Steve Turner. Best trait you bring to your respective sideline as a coach?
Trust.
Coach O'Neill.
Energy.
All right, Coach O'Neill, back to you. What best prepared you for your coaching career?
A lot of coaches along the way. A lot of coaches that I wanted to be around, but I'd say probably my dad. Just being his son and how he was, compassionate and cared. And just kind of watching him as a role model for my old man.
All right. Coach Turner, what best prepared you for your coaching career?
I don't know that anything best prepared me. I don't know that going into if you're ever truly prepared. I definitely feel like the role models I had around me in the game, starting all the way back with my youth league coach and Mr. Walt Wolfram. Shout out to him. He was my first coach, one of the first coaches that I ever as a player had a chance to believe in and that I felt believed in me. And I always resort back to him as a reason why I do coach. And then, I got to, before taking over this job, I sat next to one of the best coaches in the high school game in Coach Myers and the staff that he had is with Bill Whitaker and Paul Evans and then Bob Wagner. I had some unbelievable coaches to be able to work with that I was able to learn from that showed me the way. But I'm just going to say, I don't know that I was ever fully prepared. Sometimes I think you got to get thrown into the deep end and figure out how to swim.
Yep.
Oh, well, Krissy certainly isn't prepared with a dinger because that had to be more than 30 seconds. DJ Krissy, I'm going to leave you alone now. You got special effects over there. Coach Turner.
A lot of hating going on from you over there, Mr. Cross.
I'm just saying, if she would just, womp. I see it on the screen, but where's the button?
Krissy, I know you taking care of business. I ain't worried about Mr. Cross.
Whatever. Coach Turner, your advice to new coaches getting into the coaching game.
Don't think that you know it all. Trust in who you are and what you preach. Make sure that you hire people who are like-minded but different-minded. And don't be afraid to continue to learn. Like, no one knows it all. I think the best thing you can do is be able to get out, go see other coaches coach, and don't be afraid to use other sport to get to be inspirational in what you do.
Coach O'Neill, what advice are you giving coaches getting into the game now?
First and foremost, have to be honest. Young people can sniff out that falseness, that fakeness in the snap of a finger. You got to be as honest with yourself, most importantly, and you got to be honest with the young people you're coaching. And then lastly, get to know your players. Get to know them on an inside-out level. If you don't, then you're not going to get the best out of them.
Wait a minute. Is there a flashlight involved there?
There was when you're honest with yourself, baby. You laugh. You laugh. Go ahead.
No. That's one of your go-tos. And I agree.
Yes,
I agree. Coach O'Neill, coming back to you. Tell me about the best woman coach in your respective sport.
The best woman coach in the game of lacrosse. I'll have to go locally here over at St. Stephen's, St. Agnes. Kathy Jenkins has done it for a long time at that school. A lot of success. She probably could have taken her game and her career to different levels, but she has trained and worked with young ladies in this area for a couple decades. And I'd say Kathy, even though I don't know her personally that well, I've met her. I'd say it was her.
All right, Coach Turner, the best woman coach in your sport in basketball.
High school?
Yeah, I would say, I'm sorry, on a more local level, not globally, but a more local level.
Well, number one, there's some very, very good ones. Coach Scribner over at St. John's has done a heck of a job. Coach McCarthy.
Time out. I want it to be a woman that you're naming.
You said the women's sport. There may not be a woman coaching the game.
Tell me about the best woman coach in your respective sports field.
I thought you said women's coach. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm very.
Is there a button we can hit?
Does it count?
He's out.
That he's gone over his 30 now.
No, because I'm 50 and I get extra time.
Okay.
I got AARP card. All y'all haters.
So you at least get bonus time for that.
I get some bonus time. Coach Turner gets some bonus time.
All right. Give me a woman who coaches your sport that you think is pretty much tops in her field.
She's not the head coach,
okay,
but I think she's unbelievable in what she does, and I've seen her head coach, and that's Kathy Gillespie.
All right, where is she?
She is an assistant to Coach McCarthy.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll probably meet her tonight. I'm guessing I'll meet her tonight. All right, Casey, rapid fire. You are on the clock. Do you fold your pizza?
No.
Your most used emoji?
The muscle.
Yes, you do. Do you speak more than one language?
Unfortunately, no. I wish I did.
What instrument can you play?
I can play about 3 easy songs on the piano.
All right. What has you excited most recently?
Ooh, Halloween, baby. Watching the kids. Actually, no. Cole's coming home, and my mom's birthday. We're all going to be together. That's got me fired up.
Time out. Halloween, Cole's coming home, and Mama's birthday. You got a trifecta, right?
The whole fam's got to come back for Mama Matriarch's 80th. So he's coming back in a couple of days, and we're all going to be together at least for one big dinner to celebrate Mrs. O'Neill.
Good stuff. Coach Turner, you're on the hot seat. Where would your team best enjoy a team meal?
Chipotle. Nah, man.
Waffle House.
It's Waffle House.
All right, you mentioned that before. An unusual tradition that you have been a part of.
An unusual tradition?
Yes.
I don't know that I've been a part of any unusual ones.
Maybe you went to a friend's house and they did something differently than the way you do it. I don't know.
He has AARP.
Yeah, so he gets extra time. It's kind of like the SAT.
I will tell you this. We did a wedding this past weekend where during the wedding, the groom took off the bride's boots and washed her feet. Don't ask me where it comes from. I've never seen that in 35 years of doing weddings, but Paulo actually was on that wedding. But yes.
I'd have to say I don't know. I've never really been a part of any unusual tradition.
All right. What must Coach Turner do before he coaches a game? Like your pregame, what's one of the must-dos? There's a few things, but I like to beat it myself a little bit. I got to listen to a little bit of music. Right.
And I like to watch my younger teams play because it kind of gets me out of the mood of being worried about what we got to do.
And leave the lights on in his office.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if that's an unusual tradition, you must not turn my lights off while my game is on in my office.
All right. When do you unplug? When does Coach Turner unplug?
When?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I try to unplug whenever I can, but it's usually pretty hard. But I'm gonna say usually after the season's over.
Okay. All right. What act of kindness was shown to you that you will never forget? And for me, it was my first semester or first year at Howard University. I met a young man named Michael Fox. He was an attorney in Minnesota, I think. I met him one time at a funeral, and within a couple of weeks, I received a check for my first year's tuition at Howard University from some man named Michael Fox who attended the funeral, and I talked to him probably for 10 or 15 minutes. He knew I didn't have the money to go to school. He paid for my first year at Howard University.
Holy mackerel.
Yep.
Damn.
All I remember is he lived in a place and it was called Jaguar Trail was his address because I wrote him a thank you note.
Wait, Jaguar Trail?
Yeah, out in Minnesota though.
Oh, okay.
Casey was gonna hunt this guy down.
I'm getting a womp on this.
I mean, Steve, we stumped you a couple times here today. Someone showed you an act of kindness.
I mean, an act of kindness is just saying thank you. I mean, I can get that all the time.
Right? But which one will you never forget?
I'm gonna say probably my mom giving me a car for my graduation.
All right. That's good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting five. The starting five. A Squared Home and Office Solutions is the go-to source for home or office network and audio-visual solutions. We can help with smart home integration, wireless networking, media rooms, security systems, and more. We will link technology to your lifestyle seamlessly. Read our reviews online. Visit homeandofficesolutions.com for more info or call 240-356-8832. A Squared Home and Office Solutions. We are Home Advisor, screened, and approved.
Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our friends of the program: Thomas Alford, Melissa Alshab, Margie Billings, Adam Cross, Chelsea Cross, Paula Cross, Lynn Johnson, Erica O'Neill, Sean Parker, Kathleen Talbot, Andrea Tarones, Timothy Whittier. If you'd like to become a friend of the program, go to www.turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend. Collins Funeral Home has served families of Greater Washington with compassion and kindness since 1939. Our friends John and Terry McHugh carry on this family tradition into the third generation. The McHugh brothers, along with their experienced funeral directors and caring staff, are ready to assist you at any time. Whether you have experienced a loss, need to make plans in advance, or simply have a question, please contact them to discuss how they can assist at your time of need. Visit collinsfuneralhome.com or call 301-593-27 9500.
This segment of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by World Class Training, locations in Rockville, Maryland and Alexandria, Virginia. Performance training and physical therapy. That's what you'll find at Healthy Baller. Hi, this is Kurt Cross, producer of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Paula and I have our 13 and 11-year-old children training with the wonderful crew at Healthy Baller Rockville. Healthy Baller has created a customized training experience for our kids, and we are super pleased with the results. Their excellent training and dedication to each athlete is apparent from your first consultation through the ongoing training sessions. Paula and I can personally attest to the results. Become your own success story. They offer group and team training, individual workouts, or semi-private training in Rockville and Alexandria. Call 844-622-5537 or visit healthyballer.com.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill.
Welcome back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. This segment is brought to you by Healthy Baller. All of us here are familiar with Healthy Baller. We thank them for their partnership with TNO. Let's get into our weekly sports talk. NFL, gentlemen, real or fake? Raiders.
Fake.
Coach Turner?
I mean, right now they're real, but we'll see what happens with them.
All right, Bengals, Cincinnati. They took it to Baltimore over the weekend, dropped a 40 spot on them. They gave them some work, didn't they?
They're real. They are real for sure. I mean, Joe Burrow, obviously year 2 coming off an injury, but man, there's not many rookie quarterbacks that sustain an injury like that, come back in the second year and be playing the way he's playing, and in a pretty difficult division in that AFC North with Baltimore, Cleveland, and the Steelers. I also think they got a nice defense. They got some good young receivers, and they got guys that can attack with the football at the running back position. So I think they're real.
Isn't he throwing to one of his college receivers?
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt, does it? Steve Turner, Bengals real or fake?
I think they're real. I mean, not a lot of people put that kind of whipping on the Rays.
Right.
Now, I will say the Ravens are injured. They got a lot of injuries, and Lamar is literally carrying that team on his shoulders and his back. I mean, he's doing everything he can. They're still going to be just fine, but that Steve's right. That never happens.
Arizona, the Cardinals, they're 7-0. They face the Packers this week. What are we looking at?
It's real. They're real.
They're real, but if there's one that's going to take them down, this is the one.
Well, I don't know. Now we're looking at Green Bay being on a short week, and actually, you know what? We're going to get back to that in a minute. Saints, real or fake?
I'm going to
go fake. I don't think that. I mean, defensively. Go ahead, Steve.
I think they're real in that they will make the playoffs, but I don't see them making any noise in the playoffs.
Okay, Coach O'Neill.
I'm going to go fake on this one. Look, I think Jameis is having a nice season. It's good to see him kind of come back after the shaky up and down sort of.
He can see now.
Right, the career he's had, and you want to pull for him because I just think he cares and competes and has fun with the game. But it's just for right now, I still think they're fake. I don't think the defense is that great. You lose somebody like Drew Brees, but man, Alvin Kamara, he's one of the highlights of our people that love football. I mean, if you don't like Alvin Kamara, he is unbelievable. All right, we got great quarterbacks in the NFL, and you talk about Alvin Kamara, the young man up at the Titans. I mean, this is the time to be watching some NFL. But I still think they're fake. For now.
I would agree with Casey's that I don't think they're good enough to go win a Super Bowl, but they're going to make the playoffs.
But I mean,
the rest of the NFC East is some shit.
I mean, it is, but I mean, in their division, it's going to be Tampa's. I mean, Tampa clearly is going to win, and I don't think anybody else in that, what is it, Carolina and
Atlanta, maybe?
Yeah, the Falcons, trash. Carolina ain't that good. But they got an opportunity to maybe squeeze in that wild card, but that's Tampa's division for sure.
Speaking of Drew Brees, how's he doing behind the mic? I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him on TV.
I think he's pretty good. I think
he's charismatic. He knows the game. I mean, he's a good dude. I like him.
By the way, has anyone watched Eli and Peyton on Monday Night Football?
Not yet, but I heard it's pretty funny.
Oh, you need to watch that. You absolutely. I mean, they go at each other. They're better than me and you with the little brother, big brother. I mean,
And that's
they
hard
go
to do.
at it. They go at
That's
it.
good.
It's good stuff. Yeah. Russell Wilson's out. How far can Seattle go? 7 teams are going to make it into the playoffs. Dallas, Green Bay, Tampa, the Saints, Arizona, and the Rams are looking like playoff teams. That leaves one spot for the rest. Russell's out at least another week. And who is it up there? Bridgewater, maybe?
No, it's not Teddy Bridgewater. It's he just played on Monday Night Football when they lost to the Saints. Shout out to the Saints kicker Brian Johnson, who Gonzaga Eagle, undrafted, came out of Virginia Tech, hit the game winner in that game for the Saints,
And will be on the team for the rest of the year. We got the news yesterday.
Yep, he will
He
will be on that team. Shout out to Brian, good, great young man.
Well, Pete Carroll and them Seahawks. I'm not a Pete Carroll fan, so they can lose the rest of their games for all I care. But what's
Teddy
happening in
Bridgewater
Seattle?
is in Denver. Who
Okay.
who was that quarterback? Oh man,
I'll look it up for you. I
You
got
look
you.
it
I
up
got
right
an
now.
answer coming for you. Yeah.
We all thought that the NFC West, every single team was great, but Seattle without him is kind of showing what their metal is.
Geno Smith.
Geno. Goodness gracious. San Francisco in that division is
That's who I've been. That's the one that's killing me. San Francisco, I thought would be better than what they
Well,
are.
everyone says Kyle Shanahan's this great coach, but if you look at his overall record in San Francisco, it's like 30-42 or something. Now, granted, they've had some injuries and things happen, but everyone thinks it's a great coach. Yes, they went to a Super Bowl. They did not win that Super Bowl. And outside of that year, whatever. So obviously Arizona, LA, those are the teams. Man, I don't know if Seattle's going to make it. I really don't.
I think the Vikes could be the 8th spot.
You think so? They're not looking half bad. I give you credit for calling that one.
I think the Vikes
Good
could
call,
be that 8th
Steve.
spot.
That's a good call. That's a good call on that one.
Why is Detroit sorry every year?
Doesn't it break your heart sometimes?
It does. I mean, I looked up. Someone was telling me that
Look,
Detroit got smoked, and I'm looking
Detroit
at
keeps me
0-6,
happy because the Skins aren't the worst.
Wow, we're close. We are close. At least we've won. We can say we've won Super Bowls. We've been saying that for 20 years. Detroit.
Look,
I mean, every Thanksgiving.
Detroit is keeping me happy.
Thanksgiving,
Detroit is keeping me a happy man right now. Otherwise, I'd be on the 14th Street. Bridge.
Detroit, the
Ready to
Jets,
jump off.
and Jacksonville, they all suck compared to the
But
Skins.
hey, tell me if I'm crazy, but every time you look at Thanksgiving, when you're going to eat the turkey and spend the day with the family, and you want to watch some football, and you're like,
Detroit's always on.
Detroit, like what deal did they make?
They made a deal with God, didn't they?
To get the Thanksgiving Day.
Well, you have to say, now, Casey, let's remember during your time growing up, who was the running back?
That was Barry Sanders in the Pontiac
Everybody
Silverdome.
wanted to watch him on Thanksgiving, bro, because he.
I don't know if
on,
that's when
I
it
don't care if
started.
they won or lost. He put on a show.
But that was 32 years ago.
Hey, look, whatever you call it, whatever it is, that's why they were on, because that Joker put on a show.
As much as I hate to admit it, I see why Dallas is on America's team.
They're not America's team. Stop calling them that. Stop calling them that.
Don't give me no microphone.
Just like the Lakers. It's not our
that's
not America's team.
We had a kid that's called himself an All-American.
Okay.
And I remember another friend of his came out. It was one of the best lines I ever heard. And this is what I call Dallas. He was like, man, you ain't nothing but a self-proclaimed All-American. Dallas keeps self-proclaiming themselves to be America's team, and they're not America's team.
Okay.
And all you Dallas fans hearing me can be pissed off today. I don't care.
Steve, we need to keep our top 5%.
Just like I dunk on Bamas, y'all are some Bamas. You are the Bamas of the week.
Steve, we got to keep our top 5% status. Don't piss nobody off, Steve.
Hey, them dudes hopefully the dudes overseas ain't Dallas fans. If they are, we're gonna lose the top 5.
New Thanksgiving tradition. I want the Lions to get that first win on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna be rooting like heck for them. Okay.
You calling it right here?
Who are they playing?
And then the Cowboys
who they're playing?
down.
Let me look.
Who are the Lions playing on Thanksgiving Day? Look it up.
I'm looking it up for you right now. What's going on in Kansas City, guys? Well, I'm looking this up. What the heck is going on in Kansas City?
I don't think they're done. I don't think
I would agree with you, Case.
I think they have an opportunity because I think that the AFC West with the Raiders, who I already proclaimed as I don't think are real. I think they're fake. Chargers are very good. Chargers went in there and gave them a beat down, and so did the Titans. But I just don't think
Kansas City's done.
No way.
Their offense sucks. Their defense gives up too many points. They suck. People have figured out Patrick Mahomes, and the Lions play the Bears.
They got the Bears. They got a chance, baby. They got a chance.
Who wants to watch that game?
They got a chance, baby. They got a chance.
Awful.
I'm with you, Casey. I'm rooting with them. I'm rooting for them, too.
Go Detroit, Motor City, baby.
Lions, baby.
Leading up to that game, they got the Steelers, they got the Browns, then they got the Bears, and they got the Vikings behind that. This is not too kind for Detroit right now.
Ain't kind for a lot of teams.
All right. What we got this week, guys, by the time this episode drops, the game will be that night, Green Bay, Arizona. Look, Green Bay has some COVID protocol things going on. They have a short week. They played the Skins. They only put up 24. It would have been easy to look past the Skins to get to that Thursday night game, putting in some new offenses or whatever. But what's going to prevail on Thursday? I'm going to go 31-30 Arizona.
Where's the game?
In Arizona.
Okay, so they got to travel. They got to do the little time change, about an hour, I guess, because they're Green Bay's Midwest. I think Green Bay goes in there and gets it done. I just think they've got a swag to them. I think they have just sort of knowing that this is a big game. Yep, you got Superman. Coach Turner's pulling the belt. You got man Aaron Rodgers. I think they do that. I think it's a close game as well, Kurtis. I'm gonna go 28-24. Packers, baby.
Arizona draws a line in the sand and lets everyone know they're for real, and they win that game on Thursday night. They get to Aaron Rodgers. He gets sacked 4 times. They're going to pin their ears back.
J.J. Watt coming for him, right? J.J. Watt?
Yes, and he's going to throw a pivotal interception that's going to end their hopes of winning that game. The magic will be over, at least for one night this Thursday. Well, I'm trying. If you let me, Steve, if you let me tell the story. Why are you hating on my story, Steve?
I'm not hating. I'm just going with the Magic Man.
You're just going.
Yes, sir.
31-30. I called it here. You called what, Casey?
I called 28-24 Packers.
All right, Steve, what you got?
I don't have a score. I'm just going with my man.
You going with Mr. Superman, huh?
I'm going with Rogers' Neighborhood, baby. He's bringing out the red shoes for you guys.
All right. Coach Casey O'Neill, can I get a commitment from you right now? $1, I'm taking Arizona. $1, you're taking the Pack.
Commitment. There you go.
It's a commitment. They saw it here. No reneging. Don't welch on your bet. All right, college football. Georgia is only strengthening their hold on number 1. They'll likely continue that this weekend when they play at home against Florida.
I smell an upset.
Really?
I smell something coming down here. Yep, I just do.
I'm a Gators fan, and we're going to get our SHIT split on Saturday. I'm talking 41 to 13 split.
Oh, you're going that way. Okay.
Yeah, I am. Ain't no way we win in that game.
Oh, my goodness. Look, Georgia, we've seen the song and dance before. Even their fans know it. Is this too good to be true?
It ain't.
So if it's not this weekend, it's going to happen down the road. Although it would be fun to see Georgia and Alabama collide in the SEC championship, and then one of them gets knocked out. Probably not going to happen if Georgia runs the table. But hey, they deserve to be one. I just have seen this song and dance before, and I can, from witnesses, tell you that those fans down there, according to somebody I know, his name might be Cole.
All right.
Went to the Clemson, Georgia game and said those fans, right? He could talk about a lot of WCAC fans or fans that, you think, oh, they're driving me crazy. He said the Georgia fans are insane and get up in your face and bark like a dog when their team scores. Can you imagine being at a game and someone's barking like a dog in your face?
I'm going to punch them in their mouth with their COVID selves.
They don't bark in your face, but that sounds like the Boston Red Sox fans.
Right. No, exactly.
They got Herschel Walker might show up to that game. Do you know that Herschel Walker is 59 years old?
No kidding. Looks good for 59.
March 3rd, 1962. He was a bad boy, wasn't he?
Rocking with the wrong party, though.
He rocking with the wrong party? What do you mean?
Political. But we'll leave
he's Republican. Is this a politics show?
No.
We're going to politics now?
Come on.
We'll leave that alone, man. I said I'm going to leave it alone, but he rocked with the wrong party.
But Herschel Walker, you know who he reminded me of? He reminded me of Earl Campbell, the way he ran. Anyway, so we got that. Now we're starting to see some movement with some undefeated teams and one-loss teams losing. What are we thinking? There's Coastal Carolina has been knocked off the perch. Casey.
Get off that, man. You might as well go down to Myrtle Beach and visit the school. I want you to go to a home game there.
Maybe I should be a fan. I don't know. Clemson, they got 2 or 3 losses. Florida's got 2 or 3 losses. Penn State got their second loss. Steve, you talked about the Big Ten. They're going to be beating each other up. Let's get into that. Penn State, OSU this weekend, Michigan State, and Iowa, Wisconsin. We got some. You said it. You said these teams can't maintain it because they got to beat each other up.
I'm nervous because I love Coach Franklin.
Okay.
But he takes a third loss, man, after the season they just had, even though it was, I hope that they get the reprieve for the COVID season. But do they start talking about him not being there anymore? I worry about that.
I mean, they want perfection or bust. Is that what you're talking about up there?
Yeah. I mean, this is supposed to be their season. And, that was a tough loss they took this past weekend. And they go back and come back to back Ohio State. I just know how these fair weather fans get. They might start grumbling.
Yeah, I mean, but can you be mad at a loss to Ohio State? I mean, you can be mad at that, but you can understand where that comes from, right?
Nah, but you took a bad loss, so that it's just.
Who did they lose to last week? I don't even know.
Jesus, it was overtime. 8 overtimes to
They lost to Illinois. That's a bad one.
Illinois, that's
okay.
And they're bottom. Right now they're bottom feeder in the league.
That would have been like Oklahoma losing to Kansas last week, but they didn't.
They didn't. No, but James Franklin's done a great job up there. But you know what? I don't have skin in the game like those fans do, and we know in Penn State there's some serious fans up there who for perfection. Gentlemen, let's go back to a weekly topic. We have here first Superman, the college Superman. Has not left the building. Caleb Williams seems to do it each and every week. If it's not a 60-yard run, he's eluding people and he's tossing the ball 40 yards. What is going on with this guy? How far can Oklahoma go? They got to be in the conversation now, right?
They're definitely in the conversation.
I don't. Go ahead, Case. I'm sorry.
No, they're definitely in the conversation 100%. I mean, look, Caleb makes one of the plays of the year on a 4th down. Again, they should not be in this situation with Kansas, but it's his first start on the road, right? You think you're going to win and blow this team out. That's good mentally for that young man to get through it. 4th down and 1, his running back gets stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and he takes the ball from the running back to get the first down. I mean, college football analysts said they'd never seen a play like that before in their entire careers. Oklahoma's biggest deficiency is what the rest of the Big 12's deficiency is. No defense, zero defense. So if you want to get into a shootout with Alabama, good luck because they got real defense. If you want to get into a shootout with Ohio State, good luck. They have great defense. Oklahoma's biggest deficiency is that, and they got some great games coming down the stretch with those one-loss teams like Oklahoma State, could be Baylor, Iowa State. So there's a lot ahead for this team. But go ahead, Steve.
I was just going to say, it was great to see him. Thinking like you don't see guys make those type of plays, and it just shows how heady he is, and how willing he also is willing to, put himself in the middle of it. Because a lot of quarterbacks might have just stepped away, like I'm not going to let myself get cracked right here, fighting for a first down, and he made a key play. But I worry for them is that their defense is bad. Like I don't think they can, they might get in it and they probably have to win out to get in it. I just think at some point they're going to take one because the defense is going to come back to haunt them.
Hell, that offense keeps scoring. Last one with the ball wins. Let's take a look at Caleb Williams' numbers. 70% completion, 787 yards. He's averaging 10 yards a play, 8 touchdowns to 1 interception. Forget his longest play. His QBR is 184.2.
Damn.
184.2. Give this man the starting job, period. Caleb Williams, you were doing the damn thing, and your Instagram is on fire. All right, let's wrap this up. We'll be back after these messages. DJ Krissy, let's do it. Next Level Lacrosse. Train like a Spartan. Next Level Lacrosse is dedicated to providing a terrific lacrosse experience that is intensely focused on player development and character formation. Players at all levels will improve significantly through professional coaching and carefully designed training programs. We stress proper technique and a tireless work ethic. From beginning programs to rec leagues, travel clubs to summer programs, we develop the young and experienced athletes alike. Next Level Lacrosse has a rich tradition of running the best middle and high school lacrosse leagues in the DMV area. You'll find us at www.nextlevelspartans.com or call 240-497-1460.
We invite your questions, comments, and show ideas. Simply go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Submit Your Idea.
Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our partners, sponsors, and donors. Our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, the Insurance Alliance Group LLC, and Marquise Evans of Keller Williams Capital Properties. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media, and Gene the Barber, now Max Life Barber and Salon.
This segment of Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by...
If you're buying or selling your home, start your journey. Your goals plus our expertise equals success. Welcome to Keller Williams Capital Properties. Let us work with you to find and purchase the home of your dreams. Working with us guarantees you the local knowledge and market information you need. We are local experts with a reputation for excellence. We're here to help guide you through every step of the process with expert advice and representation. For more information, contact Marquise Evans at 301-357-5608 or visit www.yourmyagent.com. Keller Williams Capital Properties and Marquise Evans. www.yourmyagent.com.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill.
Welcome back to Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill. This segment's partner is Marquise Evans and Keller Williams Capital Properties. I got to send a shout out to Jay Jones. He stays liking our stuff on Instagram. So Jay Jones, thank you for being loyal to our social, following us, subscribing to us, giving us comments, giving us show ideas, and just being a part of what we do over here. He has been loyal from day one. Let's talk more sports. The World Series is underway. The Braves and the Astros. Atlanta drew first blood, and now they have a 1-0 series lead. Their bats are hot. Their bats are hot. Their bats are hot. Their defense is solid, and aside from Morton's broken leg, he has a fractured fibula or something. Looks like they are poised to win the series. I know it's early, but Coach Casey, can these Astros beat these Braves?
All right, before I give you my answer, DJ Krissy, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Can you give me the wah, 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 wah real quick? Yep. All right. That's how I feel about the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros. The Atlanta Braves, because look, Kurtis, you as an NL East fan for the New York Mets, I think I'd rather see the Phillies win over the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
Again, I know we're supposed to be partial here. This is our podcast. We talk national sports. But the Atlanta Braves, with the exception of Freddie Freeman, drive me crazy. Yes, they can beat the Houston Astros. They absolutely can. But as a Nationals fan, I want to be the team that beat the Astros while they were cheating and that good. I don't want to see the Braves beating them when they're not cheating. Look, this is a series that's lined up with good pitching. I wouldn't say it's elite, and heavy bats. Like both these lineups can absolutely crack the ball. They can hit with 2 outs. It's going to probably come down to 6 or 7 games, I would say. But man, I just hope this thing ends in a tie. Nobody gets the World Series trophy, and we move on to 2022 baseball, because the Braves and the Astros makes me want to puke. No offense.
Okay, great. Now can you answer my question, sir? You went off on your little rant. My question is, can the Astros beat the Braves? Not can the Braves beat the Astros, fool.
I just answered that. I think this game's
you said the Braves. You said they can beat the Astros. No,
okay.
Can the Astros beat the Braves?
This series is a toss-up. 100%. It's a toss-up. I mean, there's just no way around it. I don't think there's elite closing pitching in terms of the bullpen for either team. I think there's decent starting pitching. It's not top level like you saw with the Dodgers and even what the Yankees had. They didn't advance. So the answer is yes, the Astros can. And the only silver lining would be seeing Dusty Baker.
You know what? For me, I'd rather see the Astros or the Braves win over the Yankees. Other than that, everyone else can come before them winning. Yeah, everyone else. I don't want to see the Yankees win, but everyone else comes before them.
Okay, so Washington Football changed its name. Cleveland Indians changed their name. They're doing the Tomahawk Chop down there in good old in Atlanta.
So are the Seminoles. So there are plenty of teams still doing it.
But it's still happening. You know they're going to make them change one.
The Seminoles, they have an agreement with them.
Sure.
It's a team that I like, so I'm going to go ahead and defend them.
You're right.
No, I've heard the same thing.
I'm just telling you, there's an agreement. That's why that hasn't happened.
Well, I didn't see a disagreement in the Native American column on the Redskins. I mean, I saw, I used to be a season ticket holder, and every game I'd go to, I'd see a handful, maybe a couple of dozen people who protested, but I didn't see, and that's a podcast that I record separately that I'm actually going to record tomorrow. But that whole cancel culture thing is getting out of control with, you know what, we're going to make you change your name. You're a $1 billion corporation. You can kiss my what, but that's another conversation for another day. Let's go on to the NBA. Kyrie and Ben Simmons seems to be a fading conversation. Are they hurting their teams and or themselves? Because if someone wants to pick up one of these guys, they're showing their true sides right now. And if I'm Ben Simmons, you know what, Philly, I don't want to be here. You don't want me to be here. I'm going to show you what I got, or better yet, show my resume to the rest of the world because I'd like to be elsewhere. Let's just work this out amicably, and boom. Why are we not getting that? Because at the end of the day, he should be a professional who wants to keep the next 10 or 12 years of his career going. He's not doing himself a good service here.
Real quick before Steve answers this, they're hurting their team. They're hurting their cities and organizations. Obviously, they're not their cities because I don't think they personally, I don't think they really care about the fans. Okay. They're hurting their teams. Those guys make millions and millions and millions of dollars. Okay. And there are people outside, in Kyrie's case, that are protesting using him, right, that they don't want to get vaccinated because it's a mandate now up there in New York. All right. That's a joke. Those people need money. They need to work. Kyrie doesn't have to do anything. Ben Simmons doesn't have to do anything. So it makes me sick to my stomach that these guys are holding out. And I'm going to use, the card of they make millions of dollars because they do. And they deserve it because they're incredible athletes and they're wonderful. But they're hurting their team, and that's bullshit.
All right. Coach Turner, you want to even swap, trade him.
I would take an even swap. But Simmons is a little different to me. Because Philly went at him first. I just think Philly's a screwed up organization.
Okay.
So a part of me feels bad for Ben. I don't like how he's handling it, but I also don't put this all on him. Kyrie, on the other hand, he's got to stop wanting to be the middle of controversy. Unbelievable talent, probably whining that he wasn't put on the top 75, but here's why. There's other parts that go with being also a great player. You got to be a great person. And there's too much whining going on with him every time we turn a corner. And you got these guys that come here and play with you. They're doing all the things that they need to do to be able to play. And you've kind of you've abandoned them. I get what he still has a voice. To not get the vaccine doesn't mean he can't speak for people who don't want to take it or who don't want to get it, because before it was all about his religion. Then it became now he wants to be a voice. So what is it? If it's just being a voice, you still can be a voice, but take care of your business, because there's a business part that you're not taking care of. And I don't respect it.
He's shining that flashlight on himself for the wrong reasons, Coach O'Neill.
but when you go back to the, do they hurt their teams? Man, teams gonna be teams. Kids get injured, guys get injured, next man up. Somebody else is going to step up, and I hope they step up to the point where they don't slide those dudes back in. I wish Simmons would handle it a little differently to allow himself to get out of this situation, because he's making it worse for himself. Even though I don't believe this is something he started. It's just a shame that he's the one who's getting slighted the most.
All right, Warriors, Bulls in Utah look good coming out of the gate. The Joker last night, he got himself hurt in that Denver-Utah game. They're worried about that a little bit, but the Warriors are doing just fine. Steph is showing MVP-type numbers, and Klay is not back yet. What surprised me the most here is the Bulls. The Bulls came out looking good. We kind of thought that they could look good with the pieces they put together. I don't think we're surprised by the Warriors or Utah, but the Bulls are looking pretty good. 4-0 for the first time in 20, 30 years. And I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid, but Charlotte's like 3-1 already, guys. What's going on down there in Charlotte? What do we think about this week one, Coach Turner?
Seeing some new faces shining, which I like. Bridges, he's down there doing the thing,
right?
But it's early. It's early NBA season, so I'm just give me a few more weeks before I start drinking any Kool-Aid yet.
You ain't drinking no Kool-Aid until after March Madness.
Nah, I'm gonna drink the Kool-Aid though on the Warriors because they are who I know they can be, and people better watch out because if Klay comes back healthy and ready to roll,
that's trouble.
They're dangerous. They are dangerous because they've been this. People keep forgetting they won before they got KD.
Right.
This is a team. This was a team that was already built like this that won. And
so when you take Klay and you put him back in the mix, which is going to get you 25 to 30 a game, when Andrew Wiggins does not have to put up those kind of numbers, right? He can expend some energy on the defensive side. Draymond does not have to be as much of a distributor or as a ball handler, so you're taking miles off of his body. The Warriors are going to be dangerous. I'm telling you.
Remember, and Wiseman's not playing yet either.
Right. This young man, and they don't need to rush him back. So Warriors are looking good. I would be worried. Look, guys, we haven't gotten into this conversation yet, but any day now, ball goes up on college basketball. Coach Turner, give me your outlook.
Wide open.
Okay. That transfer portal is going to do it again.
I think this is one of the first years that no one's calling the blue blood to run it from start to finish. Kentucky's new, Duke's new, Carolina hasn't been the blue blood that they've always been in the past. I think this is going to be a fun college basketball season because there's going to be some names that make some statements somewhere down the line because they have veteran teams. I mean, there's a lot of teams that got guys back. Like you look at, and I don't know that they can make a run, but you look at Richmond. They have almost their whole team back from a team that should have made the tournament a year ago. Okay. It's teams like that I'm anxious to see like what they can do against the big boys if they get into the dance. Because veterans, I think the team with veterans is going to win. I love Gonzaga again. I think their vets that they have returning are going to make them pretty good. That's why they're number one. But I don't believe there's a team that's in the top 10 right now that I could just say like, yeah, they're going to be there when it's all said and done. I'm not convinced of that yet.
Coach O'Neal.
Excited, fired up. Again, we this time of year, heading into November, college hoops starting up, college football's getting serious, NFL, baseball's wrapping up, NBA, NHL, all this is going on. This is the best time. As soon as it gets cold, we're sitting there in front of our TVs or fire pits and watching hoops. I'm rooting for one team this year. Obviously, I want to see my local Maryland Terrapins and Georgetown Hoyas have some success, all the local teams. But I'm rooting for an SEC team, the Arkansas Razorbacks. I want to see my man Chris Likes have an amazing comeback from that injury, transferring over out of when he finished at Miami. Coach Turner's one of his former point guards and former guest of the podcast. I'm going to be watching the Razorbacks, baby. That's the squad this year.
All right. Here's where I am. South Carolina, UConn, Stanford, and UMD are 1, 2, 3, 4. Maryland always seems to get a high rank, and then at some point they seem to fizzle out. I don't think they fizzle out this year, but what I am curious about is Baylor without Kim Mulkey and what she will bring to LSU. She's going big with 9 out of her 15 young ladies on the roster being 6'1" or better. She's got 2 6'5" gals, 2 6'3" gals.
Hey.
Watch out for LSU.
Kim is real flashy with the gear.
Is she?
She dresses to the 9.
Oh, no, but I'm sorry. Yes, she does do that.
I'm interested to see her in that purple and gold. She's going to come out with some unbelievable outfits. Now, and we already know one thing. She can coach her butt off. Like, and like you said, that size and that athleticism she's got down there, She's one to be scared of.
I would, they're ranked. I can't remember where they're ranked, but they're definitely outside the top 15. I'm pretty sure. I think you better watch out. Kim Mulkey, they paid a lot of money to get her there. And that's the same LSU AD who goes after flashy names, because remember, they got rid of, what's his name?
Ed Orgeron.
Orgeron. They got rid of him, and he's going after big names. He did what he had to do to get Mulkey. So we're going to see what they can do down there.
She's not in the top 25.
She's not in the top. Okay. Well, there you go. I think they're sleeping on her. Let's find out what happens. Hey, we're coming right back with the last round of Sports Talk. DJ Krissy, let's do it. Building your brand is an important part of your business growth. By advertising with Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill, you'll gain the exposure and brand recognition behind our podcast. From season to season, we retain 92% of our advertisers. With category exclusivity, your business will benefit from our popularity online and during the podcast. Advertising with Turner and O'Neill equals exposure on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, and more than 15 listening platforms total. Inquire today and let's partner to build your brand.
At Peace Players, we use the power of sport to unite, educate, and inspire young people to create a more peaceful world. We offer support programming, peace education, and leadership development to those living in communities in conflict. We challenge the hate that is driven by the fear of our differences. We bridge divides between people through the game of basketball, and we develop young leaders who help to change perceptions. Find out more at www.peaceplayers.org.
This segment of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by
Insurance Alliance Group manages the gap between damage appraisal estimates from your insurance company and what you are rightfully owed based on your policy. They work on behalf of policyholders with claim assistance and disputes to maximize claims. Insurance Alliance Group serves as professional advisors and trusted advocates. The Insurance Alliance Group handles business and home property loss. Request a free claim review with the property loss professionals. Insurance Alliance Group. Visit us at insurancealliancegroup.com or call 866-574-4773.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill.
Welcome back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. I'll tell you what Brenda Freeze did do. She did not cupcake her schedule in November. Back to back to back. Baylor, NC State, and Stanford. All within 6 days of each other. So she wants that ranking. She wants to test her team early. Now she is opening up against Longwood, and I think they'll probably beat them. But man, November 21st, Baylor, November 25th, NC State, November 27th, my birthday. She is going against Stanford. So they're doing some things there.
She wants all the smoke. Let's go.
Yeah, she does. She wants to get out early. This segment's partner is the Insurance Alliance Group, LLC. Before we go any further, we got to mention that our fantasy football guru, Joey T, is now coming to you on Tuesdays each week. We made this move so that his fantasy tips will get to you in time to make your weekend moves before the typical fantasy football waiver wire clears each week. So if you are looking for this week's 2-minute drill, don't look right here. It's not here. Go back. We drop it every Tuesday at 12 noon. Check him out. He's going to give you some good nuggets. He gave us a bunch this week. And go see him at Capitol Grill, downtown D.C. Now let's get to the local sports team. Wizards 2-1 start. Any observations, Coach O'Neill, besides you're excited?
Love it. Actually playing somewhat of assembled defense, at least in the first game. And they didn't even play that bad defensively against the Nets the other night.
They lost by like 14.
They lost, I'm saying defensively. They let the Nets score 104 without that hot first quarter, neck and neck right there. And the Nets can score, man, obviously, with KD just doing what he does. Look, I like this team. I like that Bradley Beal is the bona fide star. And then you've got some great players in Kuzma and the rest of the crew. I like that.
Lakers East, you mean?
Lakers East. I'm telling you, I think the Wizards are a 5, 6, 7 seed this year.
The Wizards are like a 35-47 team.
Hey, man, I'm just telling you what I feel.
All right, that's what
they're actually playing defense. Playing defense. It's all
Coach Turner, you've been disappointed a lot by these Wizards.
Yeah, and Steve last week said they suck.
What you got, Steve?
Casey, you my brother.
Oh, you're gonna bring it.
But your love for the Wizards and where they are right now, man, it's like that kid on Christmas Day, always waiting for that special present and never gets it. Damn. I can't go with them, man. Not yet. I like what I see from them though, but I don't think if they get in, they're going to get in at the bottom.
Casey, look,
Kurtis, it's like I had my ice cream cone.
I mean,
and Steve walked up and just took the top scoop and said, "Deal with that, Bama."
Casey, here's why I say it. So let's clarify that. If Bradley's out for any length of time,
which he will be,
this team can't sustain enough wins without him being out there doing this magic. And I'm worried. That's what I worry about. He's Batman. There's no Robin yet. There's some good pieces now, but there's no one yet that I can call Robin to his Batman.
But I'm not calling them a top force. I'm saying 5, 6, 7.
I understand what you're saying, but if he's out for too long, man, it was nice to see them win those 2 games early, but then you saw when the big dogs come, they can't answer the call.
I hear you, but
look, they running 2 at KD. He's shooting from 40 feet, smiling, jogging back. We can't have that.
Beal was out in game 2. Again, 3 games, 79 more left. A lot can happen. But in the second game, when they went up to Toronto,
then I'm a little concerned with Beal, man. I recently started watching him and his wife's podcast, or their YouTube channel. Bradley was out doing jumperoo with the kids while he was out hurt.
If he's going to be out the 1 game out of 3, that means he's missing 33% of your games. He's going to be out for 24, 25 games. If we use that, formula, they can't. If he's out 25 games, they're going to go 8-17 in those games.
It's crazy. I will say this, I think they're 2.5 pieces away for being a playoff contender, not a championship contender, but a consistent playoff contender.
Well, I completely disagree. I think they're 1 good piece away, but is that good piece ever going to come?
More than 1. They need 2.5.
All right. So you say if Kyrie came to DC, we're not a playoff team.
Kyrie to anywhere is a mess. So I don't want to call Kyrie. Don't call.
No.
But I'm talking about an all-star. They get 1 all-star that can drop 25 points or dish out, 10 or 12 assists. They're not making the playoffs with a healthy Bradley Beal.
I think if they had somebody like that, they could potentially make the playoffs.
Right, but you think perennial contender, they're 2.5 pieces away.
Yeah, I think they're 2.5 pieces away.
Is that half Beal? If he could just stay healthy?
No, that's Beal being 80%.
All right. Let's go to Landover, Maryland. Redskins are who we thought they were, right? They're a 2-something team, right?
I mean, we just don't have an offense.
They didn't get blown out though. They didn't get blown out by the Packers
because we got a defense, but we leave them on the field too much.
All right. St. John's versus the Memphis. St. John's won that thing in a low-scoring game. Is St. John's the team to beat? Coach Turner, I think in a separate conversation, you told me they just may be the team to beat, huh?
They're the team to beat.
All right. What's going on with Carroll? I'm hearing some predictions about Carroll. Are they playing a strong schedule? I'm not really paying attention, but Carroll's undefeated, right?
Well, they're undefeated, but you got to remember we have an A and a B division, so they're not. Right. You can't count them with the math in St. John's and us and good counsel.
So you think if Carroll plays St. John's, they're getting their wig split?
I don't know if they're getting their wig split, but they wouldn't be undefeated.
Okay, all right.
Now Carroll's got some pieces. Their problem is depth. They don't have the numbers like everybody else does. And if you talk to their coach, he'd rather be in the A League. He doesn't want to be in the B League. He wants to go play the big boys. Like he'd rather say, "Let me take my losses and let's go." Somehow, I think as a league, we've got to figure out how to tell everybody if you're in this league. It's one league. Forget this A and B conference stuff for certain sports. Like if you're in the league, you're in the league.
Is there anyone else we can talk about in the WCAC who's making any noise? I thought Good Counsel will make some noise, but they've got 3-4 losses, right? And they got St. John's this weekend. So
they're not bad. I mean, obviously
they're a good team too, but St. John's just head and shoulders above everybody right now.
Yep.
Okay. Basketball, Coach Turner. What are you excited about? Talk to me.
It's been a long time. I mean, it's plain and simple. I mean, it's been a long time. These kids deserve to have a regular season. Coach Turner deserves to have a regular season. I'm excited to coach my son. Excited to coach this group of guys who I think are really working hard to show people who they are. I think they're an underrated group. It's not a lot of name fair is you see a lot of times where the early hype comes with kids whose names are all over Twitter and Instagram. This isn't that team. But if you look at Gonzaga's history, this is one of those teams that can make a run. And because they'll be a very, very good team that plays together and plays for each other. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited just to coach them up and just have fun with it. And whatever it takes us, it takes us. But I know one thing.
What's that?
If we're healthy, they're not going to want to play us at the end of February.
You know what I know? I can tell you one thing. Me and the Buckaroo over there got a date with some hot dogs and all that good stuff. Look, Steve, I'm going to go in there incognito because if Clarenda sees me, I'm going to drop like $100.
Well, I'm going to let her know you're there. You got to remember, there's not going to be a lot of fans. She's going to find you. Real easy.
We're going to put those glasses with the nose.
Matter of fact, she's doing the card checks. So,
doggone. So I got to go past her is what you're saying. Is that what you're saying, Steve?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Krissy, do you understand how this works? And just for the record, in my wallet, I keep the Vax card. The Vax card is, I done dropped it. It's laminated. I'm ready to go. But Steve, come on now. She going to look at my card. Curtis, you march yourself right over there to that memorabilia table. And here we go. I'm about to say, put it on Coach Casey's account.
No, Joe Radis. We'll put on Joe Radis.
We'll put on Joe Radis' account. All right. So you guys know from last week, me and Coach O'Neal are doing it.
I will say this, though, Kurtis. Our league is going to be wide open. Like, there's a lot of good teams. And there's some teams that people haven't talked about in a while to be on the lookout for. This is going to be a fun season. It's going to be interesting season, too, because it's the first year that we're going to split, where you're playing your side twice and the other side once. So it's going to be interesting to see how the playoffs line up, because I've always said the road to the championship falls with having the right cards played for you. Like who do you line up against? Because there are just some teams that even when you're the best, they're not the right team for you to play, and that could affect somebody. I think there's some teams who haven't been talked about for a while that are going to mess it up for somebody who we've normally heard from at the top.
Okay. I got a question for y'all. Just for the record, this week, our daughter has a volleyball game at Flint Hill at 3:00. What time do I need to leave to get to Flint Hill on time, Steve?
1:30.
Exactly. Right? I have to. I told her 1:15, but yeah, I have to, right?
1:30.
1:30, 1:45. Yeah, you'll be all right.
When Flint Hill is in the cut, let me tell you. It's out there by
it ain't Paul VI, bruh, and it ain't Riken. So you good.
It ain't Stonebridge. You know how far Stonebridge?
Stonebridge out there.
You go out to Dulles Toll Road, get through that.
Well, that's out there to Paul VI. That's
once you see the mountain, keep driving.
You go out the Greenway, go through that. And then you keep going to Stonebridge. And that's like a cover charge. Krissy, how much the Greenway is like $7.50.
You pay more for the toll than you did for getting in the game.
Exactly. I pay more for that than I pay in gas. Krissy went out loud last week, and I know she paid $15 round trip. I know she did.
It was more.
Or one way. I'm sorry, one way.
Yeah.
Because the first one's got to be like $3.50. And then the next toll's at least $7.50. That's $11 one way.
Like I said,
you pay way.
Matter of fact, you pay more for the toll doing that than a family of four just to get in the game.
Exactly. That's $22. The family of four is $20 to get in. You paying $22, $25 round trip just to go to Stonebridge. Good Lord. All right, y'all got me worked up on cancel culture. Y'all got me worked up on that Dulles Greenway. It's a nice Greenway, though. You can go like 65 out there.
I didn't know you had hard bats.
All right, we did. Coming up, the final word. Krissy shows it on the ticker. Let's go to our last break, and we'll be back with that final word. Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neal Podcast, on Twitter at TurnOn Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neal, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerandoneal.com.
Become a friend of the program. Friendship contributions start at just $25. Each contribution helps to fuel Take a TO with Turner and O'Neal. To find out more or make your contribution, go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Become a Friend.
The final word is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Call 301-761-2278 or visit RayPCruise.com. Ray P. Cruise. Mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill.
We are back, and it's time to wrap this episode up with some thanks and, of course, our final word. We invite you to become a friend of the program. To do so, go to turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend. We'd like to thank our Season 3 friends, Thomas Alford, Melissa Alshab, Margie Billings, Adam Cross, Chelsea Cross, Paula Cross, Lynn Johnson, Erica O'Neill, Justin O'Neill, Diane Panasevich, Sean Parker, Amy, Dan, Noah, and Ellie, Richard, Kathleen Talbot, Andrea Terrones, that is Big Joey T's wife, and Timothy Whittier. Become a donor, sponsor, or partner by going to turnerando'neill.com and click Media Kit. Look, before too long, Season 4 will be here, and we want you to be an advertiser. So let's do what we do. Y'all get with us, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's worthwhile. We're top 5%, y'all. Top 5% on listen notes. And who knows where we are on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Podchaser, Pocket Cast. We're all over the place, not to mention YouTube. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube by simply going to turnerando'neill.com and clicking any of the social media icons. Before we sign off, thanks to our listeners and viewers, this podcast is fueled by you, and we appreciate your support. Thanks to DJ Krissy, our engineer, who makes us sound and look good each week. And guess what? We're going to do this in under 90 minutes, guys. We haven't done an under 90-minute podcast in a while. Right now, we are at 86 minutes. So let's hurry it up. Coach O'Neill, your final thoughts.
Well, it depends on how long Coach Turner's quote is.
Well, maybe you stop stalling.
Maybe I stopped stalling. Oh, drinking the Kool-Aid? Are you referring to my love for the Wizards, by the way, DJ Krissy?
Awesome.
You know what I'm putting that Kool-Aid? I'm going to put a little Tito's. I'm going to put a little, little spritz of something on there.
This is a family-friendly show.
It is a family friendly. Well, Steve, you all cussing up there.
I said S-H-I-T. I didn't say the word.
Right. All right. Hey, my final thoughts here are happy birthday for the third time to my beautiful mom. AD, we love you.
Yes, sir.
And to all the young folks out there, have the best Halloween ever. I hope the costumes are on fire. Get after it. Get some candy. Be safe.
So now you want little kids burning in costumes. You want to set the costumes on
That's
fire.
how the kids talk, Kurtis. Fire. Things are fire.
So get with the program, right? Is that what you want me to do? Drop a fireball. Krissy, can you drop a fireball on the screen? Can we do that?
I would love that.
Have a little 16-bit fireball come through like Nintendo.
Hey, we got the little mini fireballs.
Isn't it, which one was that? Like Mario? The fireball's firing you?
Yeah.
Or was that Pac-Man or Donkey Kong? Was that Donkey Kong, Steve?
Both.
With the little fireball, you have to take the hammer and hit the fireball, right?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
I think it might be Mario Brothers, right? Don't they jump over the fire?
That was Donkey Kong.
All right.
Koopa
Good
was
game.
spitting the fire.
All right. Krissy, what are your final thoughts, young lady?
I don't know what just happened. So
We got fireballs.
it-
Uh-oh,
Pipple?
fireball.
Pipple?
Uh-oh, we're talking fireball. Go ahead, Krissy.
Good episode. Great to have everyone here on screen. Mental health as always, and Halloween.
And you got your orange on.
And I got my orange on, and I'm gonna go to see some haunted, scary stuff.
Yeah,
this
you
weekend.
are. All right.
Amazing.
My final thoughts is thank you, gentlemen, as always. Appreciate you guys being here each week to make this fun for us. Love the fact that we can chop it up and that our fans, our listeners, our audience likes to hear from us. That's it for me. That is it for me. Coach Turner, you close out with your final words, sir.
Final words. I'm going to make us go over 130, so I'm just going to sit here.
That's fine. You 50. You get a bonus.
No, but great episode. Good to get this episode in this week. And great as always, to be on screen here with you guys. Love being more in the studio, but this always works. We're going to drink that Kool-Aid. And I want to talk about your calling. Like, I heard this quote this week and it resonated with me. So I was ready to go on, and talk about this one, because I think so many times we get tied to career and we allow ourselves to get stagnant in a place that maybe we should be somewhere else. And the quote was, your career is what you're paid for. Your calling is what you are made for. Go make yourself. Don't miss your calling. enjoy life.
1 hour and 30 minutes. DJ Krissy, pull that plug.
Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our advertisers, our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group LLC, Marquise Evans of Keller Williams Capital Properties, our sponsors, O'Neill Development LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media and Gene the Barber, now Max Life Barber and Salon. Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy. All material is the exclusive property of the podcast and may not be copied, rebroadcast, or used in any way without the written consent of the podcast. The views, ideas, and commentary of podcast guests are solely their own and not necessarily endorsed by the podcast. You may submit questions, podcast ideas, and commentary to turneroneillpodcast@gmail.com. No compensation is offered for submitted material. Should we choose to use your idea, comment, or question, you agree to your likeness, social media identity, and/or information being used on the podcast. Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is recorded weekly and distributed via Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and more than 15 podcast platforms in total. You can also view Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill weekly on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest episode drops. Some portions of the podcast may be pre-recorded. Join us socially on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, and on YouTube. Search Turner and O'Neill and subscribe. Our website is www.turnerando'neill.com. Advertising opportunities are available.